Yo, what's going on, peeps? We're back with another vid. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you share. You already know the vibes. We're back with the video. I told you there'd be content for the Euros, and Euro starts tomorrow, and this is going to be the first bit of content we're doing surrounding the Euros. We will probably do some games, like I said, we'll do some reviews of the games that have been on, like the good ones. Not going to review, with all due respect, the boring games that have the crap dead teams. We're only going to do like the France's, Germany, and things like that in England, but we ain't there yet. We still got time for those games to kick off, so we'll figure it out. But right now we're doing, as I said, I did in the earlier video. If you watched my earlier video, if you haven't watched it, go watch it now. Tottenham's linked to the former Roma manager, and I'm not impressed. So if you want to know how I feel, go over there and click that. But this one's about England and their chances of winning the Euros. My thoughts, so obviously it doesn't mean they're gonna win or they're not gonna win. It's just how I feel they're gonna cope with the team that they selected. So let's get onto it straight away. And as always, just in case you don't know, we're gonna start with the squad that he's chosen. And as I go through each category, I'll give quick little verdict on how I feel about it. Nothing too crazy, because it's not really about the team, it's about the whole team and their chance of going through. But I guess we'll have to talk about the players that are in the squad to see if they're good enough to get through. But I digress. We're going to start with the goalkeepers, and we have Dean Henderson from United, we have Sam Johnston and from West Brom, and Jordan Pickford from Everton. Now I think Nick Pope might be injured. I think that's why he's not in that squad, because he's definitely in there before. He should be in there ahead of all of them, but that's the only reason why I can think Johnston's in there, with all due respect, even though he did have a good season. It's got to be because Nick Pope must be injured, but I think he's having surgery, I can't remember. But goalkeeper wise, apart from Pickford, because I don't rate Pickford at all, I think he's overrated. He makes too much mistakes, and he just concentration levels just tend to just drop off, and he'll go to sleep and make an error. So for me, I wouldn't start him. I would have started Henderson, but Gareth Southgate loves Jordan Pickford for whatever reason. Maybe distribution, I don't know what, but he loves him. But he just makes some saves seem a lot better than they are. He's like one of those flamboyant goalkeepers that want camera saves when they're not really a camera save. That's the kind of goalkeeper he is. Henderson, he's a good goalkeeper, pretty solid. Johnston, alright, West Brom got relegated, but he was definitely one of the best players for them. He was making save after save, even against us he was brilliant. So yeah, he's a good goalie. But goalkeeper wise, they have a good selection. As I said, Pickford's not bad, I just think he's overrated. I don't really rate him, but goalkeeper wise, it's not bad selection to have. Defenders, they've got Ben Chilwell from Chelsea, Connor Cody from Wolves, Reece James from Chelsea, Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings from Villa, and Maguire obviously from United, I'm sure you don't know. Luke Shaw from United, John Stones from Man City, Kieran Trippier from Atletico Madrid, Kyle Walker from Man City, and Ben White from Brighton. Now, Ben White is a late addition. He's on the substitutes because Trent got injured in the game against Austria, I believe. So, obviously, he weren't going to make it to the Euros. So, Ben White came in and stepped in, and to be fair, Ben White's actually a good player. And I think if he has a good Euros, then I think one of the top 6-7 clubs might come looking for him. He's actually solid, and he's young. He's decent defender. He plays as a defender. He plays as a right back. So he's quite versatile. So he'll definitely be a good addition to any team, even if it's just like a squad player. So yeah. But defenders wise, they've got Ben Chilwell, decent left back. Connor Cody, he's a good defender. Reece James, he's a good right back, I'm not gonna lie to you. And he can play in the midfield. He's solid as well. Harry Maguire, I'm not really sure about him. He's just like a more, what's the word? More upscale version of Eric Dyer for me. For me, he's like a prestige Eric Dyer. That's what I'll say. Good comparison. They're both slow and crap and can switch off at times. That's him. They're identical. There's like one plays for United and one plays for Tottenham. So obviously Maguire's a little more high profile than the money they spent on him. Was he worth that 80 million? No. But it's not my team that paid, so I don't care. And Tyrone Mings, decent, can switch off, and is prone to get injured. But when he's on fire, he's on fire. And he can do a job in the defence. Luke Shaw, who's had a resurgence of late. Last season, he was definitely the best left back in the league. And we're even close. Ben Chilwell weren't even close. Alonso weren't close. Weren't nobody close to him in that left back position. Weren't no one touching him. People saying Kieran Tierney, but he got injured, so that's probably why. Maybe, but even if he weren't injured, I don't think he would have been. I still don't think he'd have been the best left back in the league. I don't think he would have made Team of the Year, to be honest. Oh God, sorry. John Stones for Man City. He's another one. He's like Jordan Pickford. When he's good, but we saw him in the Champions League final making mistakes. He can go to sleep. He can get sloppy and just be lapsy-daisy with the ball, and he would do like a square pass without looking, and someone could latch onto it and get an opportunity to score. That's the kind of player he is. So I don't know. I think he plays well with Diaz, but for England, I don't know. We'll see. Kieran Trippier, my guy, used to be at Tottenham, now at Atletico Madrid. Apparently tipped to go to Man United and whatever else. I doubt he just won the La Liga. Why would you want to go Man United, with all due respect? But whatever. For me, him, Reece James, Kyle Walker's there as well, Ben White, so they've got like 4. But I don't know how many games he starts, if I'm honest. It depends how Gareth Southgate sets up to determine how he get into the team. But for me, I don't put him ahead of Reece James. Kyle Walker, I'll put him ahead of Kyle Walker. But to be honest, all the 4 are good at different stuff. So it's a tricky one. I guess it depends who you're playing, who you play, because you've got Reece James, who's good going forward and good defensively, so it's kind of balanced. You've got Kieran Trippier, good at set pieces. That's about defensively, can be a little bit caught out at times. You've got Kyle Walker, who's good going forward, not so great defensively, but his pace helps him get out of jail. And then you have Ben White, who can play on the right, bumps up and down, but then he was played centre back, so it just depends. But the defenders in that team, some of them are good. Some of them are just, centre back is the problem for me, because you've got Maguire, Tyrone Mings, John Stones, and Cody in there. Now, they can be dodgy, all of them. It just depends who turns up on the day. But for me, I'll probably put Stones in there, and I'll probably go with Tyrone Mings. Or Cody and Mings, actually. That's what I'll go with. But it just depends on that defence and how they get on and how they work to determine if they can keep the other team out, I guess. Simple as that. And on the left, it's gonna have to be Chilwell. No, not Chilwell. Luke Shaw for me. And on the right, it will be, as I said, depends who they're playing and what's needed at the time. That's all it is. Simple as. Midfielders, they've got Jude Bellingham from Dortmund. Big him up. He's only young. He's in the Euros. Don't mean he's gonna get any minutes. I think he might get a couple minutes here or there late on, but no starts or nothing crazy. Unless they're safely through the group, then they might play him. Henderson from Liverpool, Mount from Chelsea, Phillips from Leeds, and Declan Rice from West Ham. Now, for me, this was a weird one. Now, I know... Actually, let me start with who's here. Jude Bellingham doing his thing in Dortmund. He's young, he's hungry. Makes sense. He had a good season. Henderson, he's Jordan Henderson. He's at Liverpool. He's a leader, whatever. Cool, I'm not mad at that. Mason Mount, warranted, well deserved. He had a brilliant season with Chelsea, won the Champions League. Missed out on the FA Cup, but they've done their job against City in the Champions League, and that's what that matters. And he was brilliant throughout the season for them. Best player by far. Calvin Phillips from Leeds had a good season at Leeds. For me, a bit overrated, but he did have a decent season. And Declan Rice, some people don't like him. I think he's alright, does a job. He's like a holding defender type player, does his thing, and also bums forward at times, but nothing wrong with that. But for me, I would rather put James Maddison in there than Calvin Phillips. That's me. Because Calvin Phillips, alright, he can pass the ball at times, but sometimes he holds the ball too long and can be a little bit careless with the ball. So for me, I'd have put Maddison in there, but other than that, that midfield's decent. As long as you don't pay Declan Rice and Jordan Henderson, it should be fine. It depends how they're going to go about it, but for me, Mount's definitely got to be the starter in that team, 100%. And forwards, Dominic Calvert-Lewin at Everton, Foden from City, Grealish from Villa, Kane from Spurs, Rashford from United, Saka from Arsenal, Sancho from Dortmund, and Raheem Sterling from City. Now, obviously, Kane's going to start. There's no question because he's the captain. But for me, it's a tricky one because where do you put Jack Grealish? Do you put him as a number 10? Or do you put him out wide? Because Phil Foden's got a shout. He had a brilliant season. I think he won best young player of the season. Him and Grealish need to get in the team somehow. Rashford for me don't get in. Saka for me don't get in ahead of Foden or Grealish. Sancho done his thing. Maybe on the right, I don't know. Foden doesn't really do well on the right. That'll be the way to get him and Grealish in. But if they play with a number 10 and it's not Mount, then maybe they can get him. But for me, Foden and Grealish come in. They have to start. Sterling, I'm not really... He had a poor season, so I don't know. But for me, that's the team that has to start for me. Up top, Kane has to be up top, obviously, and you're gonna have to have Foden, Grealish, either somewhere on the left and right, or one has to be sacrificed. I know what they're gonna do, but either or need to be in the team. If we can get them both in there, that would be ideal, and will help boost their chances for me. That's their team, and their group. Just to remind you, is they have Scotland, Croatia, and Czech Republic in their group. Now, obviously, on paper, that seems like a somewhat decent group. It's got a decent draw. You know, Scotland, they've got Czech Republic, and Croatia. That team I just read out, on paper, can beat all those teams. But they have Gareth Southgate at the helm, And if you've not seen the last two games, the warm-up games to leading up to the Euros, they've not been convincing and they've not been great. Austria 1-0, and who was the last time they played? Is it Romania or something? 1-0, penalty from Rashford. Not at all convincing. Now, I don't understand the thing with England because they have probably one of the better squads on paper in Europe. But when they go to the tournaments, they don't play like they have one of the better squads in Europe. And even if you give them the easy route to the final, they still find a way to bottle it. And as I keep saying, they're like the national team, national version of Tottenham. That's what England is. So for me, can they win it with that team? Yes. But will they win it with this team? No. Now, I believe it's a thing of the manager, the way he's got them playing. That's what I believe. Or it's a thing that these players need the foreign players around them. I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, it just don't seem to work. Now, this is since, if you think about the 90s when they had like Gaza, they had Lineker, Shearers, Beckhams, Owens. This is probably the closest England have ever come to a squad as good as that. Now, they were talking about, then they had Lampard as well, cool, I get it, Gerrard, yeah, whatever. But for me, this squad is better than that squad. They have they have a much better striker, they've got a lot of good players. There is no excuse for this team not to progress through the group stages and at least get to the semi-finals. If they don't get to that stages of this Euros, England are finished and I don't know what to say to you. I don't know when they're ever going to get a chance to win anything. They've got a decent enough group, and for me, when that happened in the World Cup, I'm sure it was it Croatia that knocked them out? So we'll see. But for me, on paper, and if they play the way they can play, and they should be able to play, then they should be able to get to that stage of this competition. But I just don't feel confident they can do it with this manager. Because I've been watching England since he's been there and it's not been great. Most of the time it's boring football, I just don't watch it. Very Mourinho-esque. Boring. So, again, the players they have there are good enough to get the job done. But if the manager can get them to do it, it's another story. So that's pretty much where I stand on that. It's like you have a Ferrari, you know it's built to go, but you don't put the right fuel in, you don't have the right engine in there, it ain't gonna go anywhere. You say you have the Ferrari ready, but you've got like a freaking 1 litre what's that car? I think like a Corsa engine in there. Is it gonna go? No. So it needs to be tuned in. It needs to have everything set because they've got the body. So they've got the Ferrari or the nice little Lambo frame exterior, the McLaren, but we just need to see what engine they put inside for performance and to deliver. That's where we are right now. Will it be the actual Ferrari engine or Lambo engine, or will it be the Ferrari body with the 1 litre 63 horsepower Corsa engine? We will find out. They play on Sunday and I think they kick off against Croatia, and I guess that's when time will tell and we'll get a good look at where they're at. And if that game's a snore fest, then you can bet believe they're probably not going to get far. They'll probably get past the groups and that'll be it, if they're lucky. But we'll see. But good luck to England, of course. But it's just that Tottenham, you just like, they're never going to win. You're not confident going to win anything. You just keep trying and hoping, but you know it ain't going to happen. Sooner or later, it's like, you know what, if it happens, it does. If it don't, then cool. It's what it is. We're used to it now, but good luck to them. Big up to them. And as I said, there'll be more content surrounding the Euros dropping. This is just the first one, England's chances, but That's all I have to say. I'm not confident at all. But big yourselves up every time. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you share so that at the top of the vid. And of course, make sure you wash your hands. If you can't wash them, sanitize, keep your distance, wear your damn mask. You already know how it go. Until the next vid, I'm out of here. Peace.